Hello everyone. Sorry for we're taking a little bit of time today because I had a lot of things to adjust. So, welcome to everyone. Welcome to Draken Memoria. For those of you wondering what this is, well, it's Dungeons and Dragons, or more specifically, a group of people playing Dungeons and Dragons. So, if this is not something you want to watch, well, too bad. We started. We're not going to change. We haven't changed for almost 2 years now. Almost.
We remembered dragons before it was cool.
What do you mean? It's cool now?
I mean, you should see the. Never mind.
All right. So, if you don't want to watch us, well, depending on where you're watching this, either on Twitch, on YouTube, there's suggestion either to the right or left. Otherwise, we're gonna take into account that. We're going to assume that you actually want to be there. In that case, it's a pleasure to have you with us. And we hope you are going to have a pleasant evening with us. As you can see, we are still having slight problem with Tobiyashi. We made camera tries earlier on. It's part of the reason why we were late, but it's mostly my fault. But I just don't want it to be just me, so I'm also putting a bit of the fault on him. So
it's like I could put it on, but I don't want. So
we made a camera test. The unfortunate problem is that telephones aren't made to have good sound and image simultaneously. So we still have his photo and voice. Voice is better than the photo. All right.
Yes. Oh wait a minute.
Good God. I think the next 3 hours are just going to be us shit talking. So if you're into that, definitely stick around. I have a list. Just a second.
What? You wanted me to say that you look better than you sound? Is that it?
I mean,
I'm not sure if that sounds better.
I thought I was doing you a favor. All right. So, and if you're wondering, no, it's not static. It's rain. For some reason, sometimes the rain ambience doesn't go through as well as other time. Here you go. We're gonna go with fire.
there we go.
I don't know why. Sometimes it sounds like rain, and sometimes it sounds like static. I listened to it outside of this, so I know, but I don't know why. So if those sounds like this is something you like, you want to have for, I don't know, meditating at home, doing homework, working from home, annoying your parents, whatever it is, you can find those at Ambient Mixer. There's a link below, in the windows below, or if you're watching this on YouTube, in the description. If you're watching this on Patreon, the description also. Basically, you can build your own or download some that have already been made. It only costs something if you download them. You can build them as much as you want. Yeah, and later on, probably Chaotic Calling joining us. So, that's it. That's all a small channel like me has to say. But I'm open to more. You know, if you're watching, if you want to sell something that is related to Dungeons and Dragons, preferably, why not contact us? I check my email once a month. No, I'm kidding. I'm much more than that. But that's it. That's all I had to do. That's all I had to say. And we can get started. So, last episode. What did we do last episode? Well, everyone decided to finish whatever they had to do to finish doing. The most notable event was Fisher getting upgraded, rebuilt, as it had. He had learned that his eons of having been refitted had had a detrimental effect on his body, and so things can be done to undo the damage of the ages.
I've got some malpractice suits to file.
Yeah, he's basically a PC. I'm sorry. I know I like I like slamming on PCs. I know. But yeah, a mismatch of parts added, refitted, changed. And so there were a little imperfections. And through magic, he was able to remove a few of them. After that, they decided that they should enjoy the time they have before going on their quest, but they were called by the command structure of the garden, and there they were asked to share what they had seen and gone through in the mountain range. And so everyone was brought up to speed to everything that had been happening. Jorg, Audience, Tobiashi, Raimi, and Fisher also learned that their extremely high-level counterparts of the garden were Kor the Blade Master, Amiali the monk, a monk of apparently the same type of calling as Tobiashi, Sarn the Druid. I always have trouble pronouncing his name unless I'm reading it, so give me a moment. Darkine, what looked like a Dragonborn sorcerer monk, a mix of that apparently, and Temptress, a tiefling sorceress. They discussed about everything that happened, everything they saw, the monster they killed, the avatar that they pushed back, and the other group also shared a bit of knowledge. At the end, however, when everyone decided to leave, everyone went back to their room, and everyone were thinking about different things. Namely, Tobiashi was having trouble accepting the inevitability that adventurers are often influenced by gods in one way or another. And so
we're putting you.
Sometimes it depends on the god. Good gods don't use you. Bad gods do.
I've never been to this god's house. I know who he is.
Oh, yes, and of course, they were all brought up to speed by the fact that they've been living in what is basically a temple for a god. Because Fisher suddenly remembered that there was something he wanted to mention ever since he saw it, but always forgot to mention it to the team. That he saw the emblem of a god somewhere engraved in the garden, and now that they all know about it, they can't help to see this emblem everywhere. For some reason, they just couldn't see it before it was revealed to them that it was actually there. And so this is where we left off, with everyone going their own way, going to their beds, trying to get a good night rest, or as best they could, since some most likely had restless night, some barely any nights, and for the rest, well, it depends. let's start with Fisher. Make a wisdom saving throw for me, please. I believe you said you were going to sleep.
Yeah, dude. You gotta restart. To finish applying the updates.
Yeah, and especially since now you have an incentive to sleep as often as you can because of the prophecy that was given to you. So.
Yeah, you got the new rise.
Anybody want to guess?
2.
Did you happen to attune to the item that Raimi gave you before you went to bed?
I did. Where I was going to. Can I use it? Can I use it?
Of course, you can always, as long as you're attuned to it, you can use it whenever you want.
No, I will use it immediately. Use it. That was immediately. Because that was a 4. -1 would have been a 3. -1 would have been a 3. I'm gonna roll the same thing again, guys. It was not the same thing. It was
5.
That was a 0. That was a 0.
Well, there's really nothing I can do with that. You go to bed.
Well, I get to pick. I get to pick. So I'll pick the 3.
Alright, so you go to bed hoping that the night is going to give you counseling, a few images, but everything you have in the morning is when you look in the wall that is slightly reflective, you see that someone painted a mustache on you while you were sleeping.
All your downloads were deleted after the update.
How good does the mustache look? How good does the mustache look?
Actually, it looks as good as the roll you made for your saving throw.
Okay. Okay. In that case, I will use the orb. Use the orb to clean it off.
You hear Terranad go, I wasn't finished. I was trying to improve you.
Well, I'll let you. I'll let you keep it if you can do better. I'll let you keep it if you can do better. I know it's hard, but that made me look worse.
I have to agree. It did make you look worse. But it's not as hard as you think.
Oh.
Alright.
Does care. Does care.
You stare at yourself.
Longingly.
You long for the days where you only had fragmented image of your life. You didn't have to deal with this. Okay.
And then once I wake up, I'll run up, and pick up the whip that they said would be ready.
Ah, yes. I do believe I made it. I'm not sure if I really made it. Hold on.
We can get back to that if you want to. We can get back to that dream stuff. To other dream stuff.
I'm just just looking if I actually made it in D&D Beyond.
Yes, we must go beyond Dad.
Apparently, I didn't make it in D&D Beyond. Huh, I was sure I finished it. Alright, well then. I do have the information.
Hold up.
Yes.
Tell me.
The sound was a little bit choppy.
No, nothing. You're good.
Okay.
I'm trying to open my my character sheet.
Hold on. I know I have it here. I'm gonna send it to you normally. B. It should be in the B. Banishing Whip on D&D Beyond. If it's not there, I'm just gonna send it to you. No, I don't think
It is not here.
All right,
It is
so
not here.
hold on. I'm gonna send it to you. Oh yeah, of course. The person that makes it. What did they say? That you tested it, so it was half price.
Remember, there was a bunch of haggling.
Oh, that was with you. The haggling was with you. I thought it was with the audience.
Well, with him too.
Yeah. Trying to remember what I ended up settling on.
No, it's a percentage. So that's why I was... No, that's not... Okay. Well, in that case, he's going to ask you for 300 gold. It is a banishing whip, and I am going to send you exactly the information that it is, and you can decide if it's worth buying it. While you decide if it's worth it, Tobiyashi.
Yep.
Your character had a very troubling night because you were caught with all of these feelings of being used by a god as a pawn more than anything else. So you still have your long rest, but you wake up a little earlier than everyone else, having had a very troubled night, thinking about this, having some strange dreams of being used. When you wake up, you feel that, oh goodness, you really have the minimum for the a good rest, but your mind keeps going on with this. Are you staying in your room or are you leaving? It's probably pretty early. Judging from the orb, you'd say that usually the rest of the team wakes up probably in an hour or so, hour and a half. So you could stay in your room, but you could also go outside and see the garden when there's not a lot of people. There's the tavern, there's the arboretum.
The first thing I'm gonna look for in the room is if there's a raccoon face anywhere in the room. I know it's around. It has to be somewhere in here.
It's on the frame of the door. Right in the center of it. You couldn't see it before. You don't know why, but it's there.
Oh, okay. I look at it. I think for a second I'm like, geez. I'm going to. I'll clean myself up with the orb.
Which takes 5 seconds. Well, actually, probably 18 seconds because it can't clean you up all in a single shot. You have to use it 2 or 3 times.
I'll clean myself up since I haven't shaved my beard or anything. Cut that off and can it sew my clothes back together because I'm still in tatters.
Well, no, it's basically like prestidigitation from the mages. From wizards.
Okay.
You'd have to find someone that has a mending spell, or go buy some.
All right. Well, first thing I'll do is I will. No, it's too early for that. I'll go out to the. Wait, is it the arboretum? No, it's not the arboretum. It's not the arboretum. It's the.
The arboretum is where there is a giant forest.
The park.
Some of the ponds and the fields. You haven't explored all of the garden, but you know the arboretum is always open, and there's probably a chance that the tavern is also always open. There might be other adventurers also there. Sometimes they can be a source of counsel.
Why not? I'll go. Why not? I'll go to the tavern. I'll go to the tavern.
Okay.
Maybe get something to eat real quick.
So it's gonna take you a little bit of time going there, maybe 20 minutes of walk. The moment you leave your room, however, you are greeted by a warden. And I said, yes, Mr. Tobiyashi. I was asked to give you two messages. The first one being, if you need to relieve yourselves, there is a bathroom every corridor. You just have to keep going between your room and the next one. There is one every 2 doors. There is a restroom. It is easier than going in the foliage available in the tavern. As you have seen, we have a few interesting personalities inside of the garden. Speaking of interesting personality, the gnome who took your sample said that you should probably ask for a special meal that he has asked the person handling the tavern to make for you. Just name yourself and then what you want to have. What was prepared. Apparently you have severe signs of malnutrition. This will probably help you.
Okay. Thank you for that. That is good to know. That is good to know. I think I'll go do that right now. I think I'll go do that right now. You said there was another thing to tell me?
Bathrooms. There's also a bathroom next to the door to enter the tavern. And there's a meal waiting for you at the tavern. Actually, several if you want to. The gnome said that you had severe signs of malnutrition. It will help you. In the long run, it will probably also prevent you from experience very unpleasant diseases. And that is all.
All right. Well, I'll go do that now then. I'll go do that now then. Thank you for letting me know about my pee. Yeah. I'll be leaving now. I'll be leaving now.
He bows and leaves.
All right. I bow back to him. I walk the other way. And I walk towards the tavern. Towards the tavern.
So, like I said, you take maybe 20 minutes to get to the tavern, and as you arrive, just like said, the tavern is mostly empty. But you do see Corinth, who is sitting at a table alone. Looks to be very relaxing right now. Very much relaxing, just taking the time. He has his eyes closed. There is a mug of something right next to him that he's still holding, and just as you make a few steps inside the tavern, you see him open his eyes and... Hello. Sit wherever you like. There seems to be very little people at this hour. I wasn't expecting anyone.
Well, if you don't mind, sit right next to you. Sit right next to you.
Of course.
So, what are you doing up so early?
I always get up this early. It's calm. I like the in-betweens. Dusk, dawn. Everything is calm.
Well, I was told I have to eat something. I was told something about my pee. I don't know. It's something about my pee. Is there a guardian behind the?
Yes, of course.
A warden.
He is always there. I'm not sure they actually need to rest at any point. Just You can just ask for him from here. He'll hear you, or you can do the polite thing, I would imagine, and go to the counter. He'll be there. Don't worry about it.
All right. Well, I'll be back. I'll be back with my food. All right. I walk away over to the counter.
It doesn't take long. You arrive. You just have enough time to look left, look right, and then you see him arriving. Yes. Can I help you?
Hey, my name's Tobiyashi. My name's Tobiyashi. Waiting for me here. There was like food waiting for me here.
Yes. Hold on a minute. Turns around. He comes back maybe 12 seconds later. Here you are. I do not know where you're from in this world. I know that some people won't consider this very appetizing, but it is apparently very nourishing. Here you go. He gives you something that's closed. When you open the bell and just look inside, yeah, you have actually no idea what this is. Has a strange purple color. At least it's not moving. Looks like I said, oatmeal, but it's purple. You do?
I'm gonna smell it. I'm gonna smell it. What does it smell like?
You get a smell of several spices. Some of them you can identify; they're common spices, but others you have no clue what this is.
Well, I might need something. To put this down with. Do you have a name, Guardian?
Actually, we
Warden.
We all have names, but usually people don't ask us ours. Gyarados. This is my name.
Okay. Hello, Gyarados. Do you think I could get a small glass of light ale?
Yes, of course.
I know it's kind of early. It'll take away any taste. It'll take away any taste right now. I'm going to get. I don't know what this is.
Well, yes, of course. Is there an ale you like more than another? We have all kinds.
Just a regular hop ale.
Okay. Comes back after maybe another 15 seconds, and here you go. It's a mug, regular mug.
All right.
Nothing special.
All right. Okay. I walk back over to Corinth, and I am going to sit right next to him again.
So, you have decided to take the strange purple stuff.
I guess so. Well, I haven't eaten it yet. I made sure to get something to wash it down with.
A very good idea. You never know. I gather that this is not something you've prepared yourself.
It is not. I got it. Some gnome prepared it for me. The piss thing I was talking about earlier.
Right.
It's not made of. No, wait. Okay. It's not made of. Wait. No, wait. Okay. Wait. So I'll explain it. He tested my piss. He tested my piss. Said that I'm low on nutrients. And made this for me.
Okay. Well, I mean, most of the gnome that I've encountered here are very well intentioned. I'd probably take a few trips down their laboratory, just to make sure that you don't find yourself in front of a clone. But other than that, usually they're pretty well intentioned, so should be true.
I'll let Lady Luck decide. As soon as I say that, I will drink. What should I do? Should I chew it? Do I just drink it? Chew it? Do I just drink it whole? And then I will swallow the pitcher. And then I will swallow the pitcher. The mug of ale. Not pitcher. God.
Yeah.
The mug of ale.
Well, it it eats a bit like oatmeal, except that it's a little bit more consistent. It's well spiced. It's not hard to eat. You're not used to eating something that's this seasoned, but it's, well, let's roll a d20 and see how much you like it.
All right. You want me to?
Yeah.
All right. You want me to? There we go. Okay, that's the 10. Okay, that's the 10.
So. It's average.
It's so-so.
You've tasted better. Yeah. You've tasted worse.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially worse. Yeah.
Since there's so much of this thing that you have no clue where it's coming from. You just know that it's from somewhere in the shattered continent. It's hard. But, no, it's average. At least it's not hard to eat.
All right. All right. Okay, Corinth, I'm like, did I change anything? Do I look different? Did I change anything? Do I look different?
Well,
am I okay?
You might have a little purple color to your skin. I'm just joking.
Oh my god. Whoa. Oh my god. Man, they changed. They turned my friend into Moss the other day. They turned my friend into Moss the other day. Okay. All right, thanks. At least I'm not purple. All right, thanks. At least I'm not purple.
I've heard about your
friend. Yes. Hopefully he's not Moss by today. Hopefully he's not Moss by today.
Oh, that could be interesting. I've heard it's also the name of a god.
Yes. 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 It is. Yes. It is. So
that name seems to trouble you for some reason.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'd rather not think about it for the moment. Not think about it for the moment.
Suit yourself. But if you need someone to talk to, I mean, I am not a priest, but I've been given several confessions in my life. I can keep a secret. And offer guidance if you need some.
Well, I haven't been too much. I grew up at a monastery. I grew up at a monastery. They did have a god there that they did have a god there that they I wasn't one to be guided. I wasn't one to be guided or looked over by one. Looked over by one, but I guess that's wrong. Apparently, but I guess that's wrong. I've been looked over since I got that note. Since I got that the day we were invited here. The day we were invited here.
Oh. How much do you know about gods?
Not much. That wasn't my not much. That wasn't main my study as in math too. Main study as that much well too. I didn't study that much well there.
You know that gods receive much of their power through our actions. This is why priests often further the goals of their own gods. Because their action grants their god more power, and in exchange, they also grant their priests, paladins, some sorcerers even, a little bit of their own power. But more than that, the action of simple persons also influence all of this. This is why some gods become so powerful, because simply acting, simply making a choice, doing something that crosses their own domain is enough to give them energy. For example, Augathar is the most powerful god of good. Of course, as you would expect, every time you do good, he receives a bit of those actions, a bit of that energy that you expend. And it is so for everyone. Every time someone does good, he receives a little bit of energy. It is also the same with evil gods. if you kill someone out of anger? If there is a God that receives energy from murder, from wrath, from evil intent, you also fuel his power by doing this. So they are impossible to avoid. And every action you do grants them something. So of course, some actually take an active interest in you.
I don't know. I don't know. Even if I didn't want to, like you said, it's going to happen anyways. But why would a God watch over us while we're suffering for many months? Well, many months. Couple weeks in my question. When I was at the gate, like everybody else was to the armory, I felt like everything that I went to was supposed to happen. I wasn't supposed to get here on time. I felt like if there was someone so non-powerful, as you said, even if they weren't, shouldn't they have done something to get me there when my friends got there?
It always depends on how you see things. As I'm sure you've heard, some gods have made sure that other gods can't always be interfering. This is why when gods come here, they come here as avatars, because their essence is so overwhelming for your soul, it would just flee in terror. You'd die. It would disconnect itself from your body and leave. This is how imposing everything they are is. It's not that they want you dead, it's simply that it's overwhelming, like being forced to watch the sun. It's just too
Wait, okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Wait, I have a question outside of it.
Okay.
I have a question outside of it. For DM. Was Corinth with us in the conversation with everybody? In the conversation with everybody?
No.
Yeah, the other day?
He is
Okay.
He is the most powerful paladin in the garden, but he's not one of the 5 that is considered simply the most powerful.
All right. I'll take another drink of my ale. I'll say, well, I guess so. It's just more for me to think about. Think
about this. You said that you had the impression that you were supposed to suffer before reaching this point. And you're wondering why you didn't reach it at the same time as others. Well, think about this, if you will. Your path, it is the same thing as a road. When you decide to go to Otanel, and then to the town of Crossroad, there are 2 fixed points in your journey, Otanel and Crossroad. Nothing will change you passing there, but the path that you take to these 2 points can change. I imagine you're talking about the dream that we all shared about being in the vault.
Yes.
Well, if you'd been there when it happened, you would have been surrounded by people who were waiting for something. But you didn't get there at that point. You got here later on. But that point for you was inevitable. You were still surrounded by people waiting for something. The only difference is that they were waiting to see what you would retrieve from the vault instead of what they would retrieve from the vault. Maybe it's not that you were meant to suffer. Maybe it's that you were meant to live that moment. This is why it was inevitable. Something happened, your path changed. But the moment stayed. It was that moment you were fated to live, not the pain that you suffered to get there.
Well, I just have a feeling that it wasn't. I just have a feeling that it wasn't. I just don't want anybody else deciding. I just don't want anybody else deciding what my fate is going to be.
Someone once.
I don't know. They also watched me sock a rock. I don't know. They also watched me sock a rock. There's that. There's that.
Yes. Well, that is a lot of adventurers finding ways to create bonds. I'm sure you will see a lot of these odd rituals as you travel. You will see people trying out different things, trying to trick you into doing something. You have to understand their intention. It's always important to understand the intentions of someone. You are going to be traveling with at least 2 persons that just watch there knowing exactly what would happen and still let you hurt your hand. What happened? Did they decide to mock you? Or did they laugh? Did they help you recover? Did it give you more information? Did it deepen the bond that you have with them?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. I think
then
it did.
Was it really bad?
No. Not really. No.
Then
not really.
Always keep that in mind. Sometimes you need something. Not what you expect, but you need this thing. And the path that you take always leads you to it.
Okay. I kind of see what you're saying. Okay. I kind of see what you're saying. I'll finish off my drink and say... I think it's about time that I go find my friends.
Most likely, I think that they're about to arrive anyway. It's been a little bit of time. Usually the earliest one are the ones arriving right now. I wouldn't be surprised if one of your friends, maybe Audience or Fisher, be arriving in here very shortly. I wouldn't be surprised. They're usually among the first to arrive.
Okay. Well, thank you for the talk.
Anytime you want. He takes a big...
Till we talk again.
He takes a big gulp of his mug, and you just hear that... as he drinks whatever that is inside. You get the feeling it's thick, slightly chewy, as you see him just go...
All right. Well, all right. Till next time. Till next time.
Have a good purple meal.
Will do.
All right.
Will do.
Remy, you probably at one point fell asleep inside of the research quarter, and
too tired to move. It's like this place looked good enough. It's like this place looked good enough.
You are woken by a warden that has helped you during all of this research. You've come to know him as Odyssey. He just wakes you up. Come on, little bird. Yeah, didn't want to wake you up. You just finished your spell and you look to be very tired. I had someone deliver this for you. It's just a mug full of water. I don't know what you like or don't like, so here, it should help you. It's morning, so I don't know if you need to do any toileting or not, but you do sound a bit like a dead. You do smell a bit like a dead bird.
Just takes the water, opens his beak a bit, lets some of the water dip down, and he starts gargling. Dip down, and he starts gargling.
Well, you did learn your spell. Well, anytime you need researches, just come and see me. I will be glad to help you, even if you have to pay at one point.
Just rubbing the sleep out of his eyes. With one hand, gives a thumb up with the other one. Thumb up with the other one.
So, of course, you didn't get a long rest, but you did get a short rest.
But, after cleaning himself up, he still technically has errands to do. Although the first one doesn't have to go very far. The first one doesn't have to go very far because recover his Terry logbook.
Yeah, no, that's probably something you can do in 10 minutes. You just have to ask Odyssey before he leaves, and he's... Of course. Get yourself ready. You seem to have a few feathers out of place. I'll be back with the book in a few minutes.
Just want to imagine there's like a mirror in the room, and just like when directed, just like squawks when directed, just like squawks again, and immediately starts preening.
By the time you finish, Odyssey comes back with the book, and here you go. It was completely transcribed. If you have time, maybe you should try and visit Thayag. I believe she has figured out most of the small creature's language.
Rainy will. Yeah, he'll just minor illusion. A blank map. A blank map.
Oh, she's usually somewhere around here. You just have to ask for her. Otherwise, someone will be able to find her very easily. She's a bit hard to avoid when you're a warden.
He'll say in a nice voice, like he'll say in a nice voice, like, and
thank you very much.
And lets you go.
It is like making sure his area is cleaned up. It's like making sure his area is cleaned up. I guess, and then like goes looking for Thag.
Already, all right.
I think like it's. I think like honestly, if we're just going by, proximity, I'd imagine that Thayag is closer compared to anything else he has to do.
She's somewhere inside the research tower. You simply go to one of the warden at the entrance of the tower, and it only takes maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and you see her making her way toward you, coming down the stairs. Yes, Remy, you wanted to see me.
Remy nods, and then minor illusion, and then minor illusion, much bigger version of Terry. Much bigger version of Terry.
Yes, is there something you want to know?
The minor illusion. One of the constellation symbols he learned. Constellation symbols that Terry has made.
You want to learn more about his language, is that it?
Remy nods.
Right.
Remy nods.
Well, it is fairly complicated compared to common. But if you're bringing to me, I can probably already talk to him. Creating a grammar for someone to learn is going to take a little bit more time to write down. Well, I guess a grammar and the dictionary would probably be the best. As you might imagine, it's going to take a few weeks to completely write those. But in the meantime, if you need to talk to him, you just have to bring him to me. I'll be able to exchange, at least in the most basic sense, but probably more than you will easily be able to accomplish. And she just placed her hands one above the other like this, and you recognize the hand symbol for minor illusion, and you see what you think is a word spelled out letter by letter. You just see all of these stars appearing, disappearing, changing, replacing themselves, repositioning themselves. I mean, it might be a little bit more tedious than a simple conversation, but I can probably at least do something.
Remy already has sparkly eyes looking at that. Anime sparkly eyes. Anime sparkly eyes.
Anything else?
Thinks on it for a moment and shakes his head.
Have a good day.
Gives the 3-towel wave and makes his way out of the area.
Just as you're about to leave, Remy, let me help you. And she just waves in front of you, and you feel like some feathers are replacing themselves, especially on your back. You know, the ones that you can't reach quite. Here, I believe this is going to be slightly more comfortable. She used prestidigitation to clean you up properly.
Yeah. Yeah. Remy responds in a gruff man's voice. Hey, thanks, doll.
Yes. Have a good day. Audience. As you wake up from this morning.
Yes.
Actually, you think you wake up, but you quickly realize that this is not waking up. It feels once again that you're inside of a book. It has a feeling similar to what happened a few weeks ago when you were in the arcane laboratory. And you look around, you look in front of you, and you see these images appearing as if written on a scroll. And they just start unfolding in front of you, changing, and feels like you're turning a page, but in a book, but you're not touching it. But you see these images going, and you see a fight. A lot of people fighting around. It's a bit like stop motion in the way that they move, but it's enough that you can understand their movement and what's happening, and you get the feeling that, all right, there's two sides. They have different symbols, so either lords or maybe something sacred like a divine war, a crusade of some sort. Your eyes end up focusing on a group of them. You see one. You get the feeling from the emblem on his chest that he's not from the good side. You see, however, that he is incredibly skilled. He just cuts down anyone that arrives in front of him with ease. You see the other side being a bit desperate about this, just throwing themselves on him. And one managed to injure him, but he gets decapitated with ease. But one thing you do realize as this fight goes on is that he might be from the wrong side, but there is honor in the way he fights. You see at one point he injures one on the side of the leg, and the person just stumbles down and loses sword. He goes to attack another one and only comes back once he has taken his sword again. You see another one being injured and falling right in front of him. He could simply finish him off, but he steps away and gives him time to get up. Kills him nonetheless, but doesn't attack him when he's on the ground. He is fighting for the wrong side, but there is so much honor in everything he does. And then you see, at this point, you see a sorcerer arriving. He has the same symbol as the warrior that is outclassing everyone. You see him start casting a spell. You don't know what it is, but you have the feeling that this is going to explode outward in a line. And this is when you realize this line is meant to attack one hero from the good side, but their hero from their side, the side of evil, is also in the way. And the way that he's placed in slightly diagonal, he's gonna get both. The sorcerer doesn't seem to care. He starts casting, and as he's casting, you see time slowly freeze. And you hear a voice coming to you. An honorable fight. A dishonorable end. Who will you sacrifice? You have to act.
So
you're in the book right now, and you have to act. You don't have enough time to get to the mage casting. Almost get up to him, but you know that you're gonna be maybe 2 or 3 steps short. You only have your hands. You don't even have your sword. And you see those 2 warriors, one from the wrong side but fighting with extreme honor, one on the right side, unskilled, taking all of the opportunity he has out of desperation. Who do you sacrifice? You can move.
Well.
Let me be clear. You can move and influence what happens.
Yeah. Audience is gonna go. Audience is gonna very go. Sadly. Very sadly. He's gonna look at the hero. He's gonna look basically as he hero. Basically as he shoves the unskilled warrior, but the unskilled warrior. He's just gonna look at the hero in the eye. He's just gonna look at the hero in the eye. You should have picked to say. You should have picked. You should have picked. You should have picked better friends. And then he's gonna, with kind of a regretful look at
the beam is not wide. And then he's gonna. It's a beam similar to your breath weapon. It's 5 feet by 5 feet. It's just a question of the angle is wrong.
Well, yeah, but I can save only one of them, right? Well, yeah, but I can save only one of them, right? So I'm just saying.
Like I said, you hear the voice repeat, "Who do you sacrifice?"
I'm going to stick. I'm going to stick. Going to stick. I'm going to stick with the action. I'm going to sacrifice the. I'm going to sacrifice the warrior, the skilled warrior from the warrior side. The skilled warrior from the wrong side. Regretfully. I mean, I'm gonna. That's what I'm gonna. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna. That's what I'm gonna. I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna shove it.
So you saved the one from the good side?
Yes.
I saved the one from the good side.
I played it so well.
I saved the one from the good side.
I played it so well, man. Like, I didn't hear.
Move and you shove him out of the way. And at that moment, you notice that the honorable hero from the wrong side sees you. He turns around and places himself, arm spread wide, in front of the beam. He sacrifices himself to save you after. You hear the voice.
This is why I hate sorcerers. This is why I hate sorcerers.
You hear the voice simply go,
"Fuck magic."
And that is your choice. And you wake up after this. You can't help but to feel like there's something you didn't understand in this. But the dream has ended, and you are fully awake.
All right. Well, I will head to go. All right. Well, I will head to the tavern. I'll head to the tavern. We're trying to get out to Othmanel today, so I'll head over to the tavern. Hopefully, meet with the rest of my party.
Jordan, I'm so sorry. You had a very pleasant night. I have nothing for you. I'm so sorry. I tried to think about something for you, but no, that's all right. You don't have any weird conflict that I have to resolve. Or try.
I had a weird one about the. Yeah, I had a weird one about them as my flock last time.
When you wake up,
apologize for a good night's sleep. Apologize for a good night's sleep. Those are rare enough to come by as is.
So.
Inside and outside the game. Inside and outside the game.
Yes, I do agree with that. You do notice when you wake up that the moss from inside of your hands and a bit on your elbow has started to peel off. You can once again see the inside of your hands.
Whoa.
You get the feeling that it's going to take a little while, but it's slowly going to fall off.
Yeah. Figured was a cool effect on my transformations, but not worth smelling bad. Not worth smelling bad.
Oh, Douglas, they're gonna make for some great chips. They're gonna make for some great chips. You are gonna eat those, right? You are gonna eat those, right?
So, where do you go when you wake up?
Well, I think I'll head towards. I'll head towards the tavern where I assume we're meeting. I don't have much to do outside of that.
You most likely all reconvene in the tavern, probably around the same time. Fisher, you know at what time everyone wakes up, so it's easy to just walk slowly and get there and make sure that everyone's there. Audience, well, you woke up at the normal time. You just had a weird dream. Remy, you barely slept, so you arrived there looking almost like a zombie. Tobiyashi's already there.
Yeah, I ordered you guys food.
Whoa. Thanks.
Well, I thought if I was malnourished, you guys shouldn't be. So,
You notice as Jorg grabs something, there's a bit of moss that just falls off.
Do I smell any better? The moss is going away.
Well, right now there's not enough of it gone to really affect the scent. Maybe if you do this, you can smell it less because now there's none inside your hands.
And well, maybe that's handy. I didn't.
I'll bow to everyone. Say, Jorg, Fisher, Jorg, Remy, Fisher. Good morning, Remy. Nice to see you again. Good morning. It's nice to see you again.
There's Corinth.
Good morning, Toby.
There's Corinth in the background
morning,
that just
Toby.
waves at all of you as you arrive. He seems to be getting ready to leave.
Did you guys sleep well?
Randy opens to speak, and the literal sound of a grouchy toddler comes out.
Hey, you gotta calling.
Hey.
Did you buy Fisher food also?
No, I got you some oil. I got you some oil. Forgetting that you're a robot.
I will sit down. Slide it back to you.
Oh well.
I appreciate the sentiment, but apparently you need this. I'm sorry.
I forgot. I'll definitely eat it. I start to eat it.
Don't apologize if you'd gotten it. If you hadn't gotten it for me, I would have made fun of you.
In answer to your question, Toby. I had one weird dream. I had one weird dream, but not anything that special.
Nothing important. I mean, the prophecy. Prophecies said. We're gonna have some strange dreams. The more you share, the more we'll all be prepared for this thing to come.
All right. I mean, I'll tell them about the dream I had. I was like, I didn't seem that important to the prophecy. I didn't seem that important to how much I hate. Just remind me of how much I hate. And that they're dumb spellcasters. And that they're dumb. Should fight with more honor.
Well, they usually are tricky, but I mean,
I'm sure he doesn't mean you, Jorg.
Both of them for that.
Well, Jorg is the one that should feel the most offended by this.
Jorg, you're fine. You're not a sorcerer. You're not a sorcerer. You're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of are a spellcast. You kind of are a spellcast. You're not like...
I like the kind you're talking about.
Yeah, wizards and sorcerers. They're annoying.
Yeah, they're all tricky and they're all tricky and cryptic.
Yeah. Never liked them.
Says the guy who's been trying to recruit Temptress.
She's.
I mean,
in a way though.
She is a problem. why they're a problem.
I mean, audience, there was that one guy we were traveling with. I kind of forgot his name. He was the Trevor. It was the deal. He was the Trevor to deal with. Yeah,
what do you mean,
Trevor,
Kobayashi? You don't remember his name. He's the reason why you got captured.
Yeah.
And so he deleted him from his memory.
As you know, not always get along. Do not always get along on the best terms.
Definitely.
Whatever
happened to him, I hope he's on a good road. Whatever happened to him, I hope he's on a good road now.
I think he's dead.
He's on the path to redemption. I didn't say it, but
I mean, I got the sense that he was dead.
Audience, so this is what we can look forward to. One of us falls in battle. Just kind of forget, move on.
No, never. No, I never couldn't find another robot like you.
Well, everybody cares so much about me today. Today.
Wait, what do you mean? Well, never mind. What do you mean? We should finish our food. Okay, never mind.
We should finish our food. I think of you more android than a robot. Android than a robot.
How the heck do you know about androids?
I look at him, I'm like, what is that?
I read it somewhere. It's a gnomish thing.
I see.
I'm more of a fan of cyborgs, personally. I don't know what those are, but
they don't have that name, but they are people with augmentation. I mean, they're artificers which use their knowledge to replace lost limbs. So that's the closest thing.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of artificers. They can make their hands. I respect that. Weapons. I respect that.
That is pretty neat. I can make my hands into weapons. If you count claws as weapons. Also turning into another animal.
Rainy, during this conversation, one by one putting into his bracers at the table.
Does the whip require attunement? By the way.
Oh,
it didn't say in your description.
Yeah, no, it doesn't say. It's a weapon that has charges, so it does.
Good rule of thumb, like how many charges?
I'd say probably.
That sounds like an attunement. That sounds like an attunement. Like you can. A wand of fireballs is an attunement. A wand of 7 charges for it, and that's 7 charges.
That's fireballs. But
as long as you can unattune to it, then I think it could be an attunement.
So I'd say you can just keep it and not be attuned to it. In that case, you would only have access to the fact that it's a +1 whip. If you attune to it, you have access to the banishment ability of the whip.
Okay. Got it. Alright. Well, have we decided where we're going, right? We decided where we're going, right?
We are headed to the portal, headed down from there, and then headed down towards the person, or they ask for help. I don't know if it's to rescue them.
Right? Aren't we going up?
We're going somewhere.
There's a map. Right?
Hold on, I have the map here. Yes, I believe it's sort of northwest. Yeah, that's right. On your map, you have less names than on mine. I always start. So out of Otonel, there is a commercial road that is very long. that leads to a larger dot. That's septane.
All right. Hold on. Is everybody ready to head out?
We should buy some. We should buy some diamonds before we go, in case.
Yes.
In case. And I assume it'll take too long. I assume it'll take today. But I'll leave my cut it today. But I'll leave my uncut diamond here.
Well, hey, George, do you think there'll be clothes at this diamond place? I'm kind of looking a little, raggedy.
They won't care about clothes. Do you think they do? They won't care about clothes. If they do, I'm gonna be against that. So I'm gonna be against. I'll buy diamonds. So you know what? I'll buy diamonds.
I think he more meant like, will there be clothes? Will they be against? Will they be against? I think they'll sell to him.
I'm sure you can find some clothes. I'm sure you can find probably in a different spot, though.
Yeah,
probably in a different spot, though.
Store, I'd assume, not at the diamond store, I'd assume.
It's all in the same floor, so, yeah.
Yeah, we'll go buy some.
All right. Yeah, hopefully there's clothes. All right.
Toby, you look fine. Clothes are overrated. Clothes are overrated.
You could literally see my nipple right now.
I am still waiting to hear that. I am still waiting to hear
that. Toby, this is generally a looking at everybody here. Clothing optional party.
Okay.
Well, I have no need for them. Audience here doesn't like shirts. Jorg and animals don't wear clothes. Animals don't wear clothes.
I mean, I guess I could patch it up.
But you turn into them and then you don't. No, but you turn into them and then you don't wear clothes.
All right, I'll handle it. All right, let's go get some diamonds. As I finish eating my food. I will say on the inevitable trip to the commercial district, Raimi is going to in front of Fisher, and replay the conversation that he had with because it feels like information Fisher probably wanted but forgot that he needed.
What? I never forget anything.
He's got enough RAM. Jeez.
Is that what they call memory for machines? Something else you saw on a Gnomish manual?
Yeah, for what it's worth, like Kenku would make for excellent. Not only just soundboards, but what do they call those? What do they call those people who like? What do they call those people who like? Before they no longer were, but before they no longer were.
Yeah, that's it.
I think there was
something before that. There was something before that. They had a name for them anyway.
Dispatcher.
That's close.
Anyway, it's probably gonna come back to me once the session is over. I'm like, damn it! Just like in the description that I was trying to give when Fisher was being upgraded, I kept saying that his root system was unfolded, and I was looking for the word unraveled. Damn it!
Operator was the operator was half right. The job title was switchboard operator. Switchboard operator.
That's a long time ago, though. That's what
I was referring to.
Yeah.
That's what I was referring to.
Well,
yeah.
My grandparents. It's not that long ago.
Well,
they're all dead, but
Remy.
Still.
Thank you, Remy.
I know.
For following up on that.
Remy gives Fisher a tired talon up.
Because I wasn't super paying attention. What was it? Or I was and then I forgot.
The TLDR. Because the TLDR is that they have they have a rudimentarily figured out the language, but it might take a little bit longer. But it might take to come up with a full grammar book to utilize. But if you need to utilize Terry, if you needed to talk to Terry, you would be able to do so. You would be able to do so.
Theag would be able to
rudimentarily, albeit
Theag would be able
rudimentarily.
to act as an interpreter for you.
But not in those words, like just not in those words. Just like maybe just half of the conversation. Just repeats for half of the conversation.
I'd look around at do. I guess how long do you guys gonna need? I guess how long do you guys think I have enough time for this, or do we want to? Think I have enough time for this, or do we want to get going?
Well, judging by the fact that if you're in the tavern, it's going to take them at least 45 minutes to get there, because they're gonna get the shortest way is through the arboretum, and for you it's only gonna be half an hour to get to the research quarter. So right there you have 15 more minutes than them. But if they have to come back after that, you have half an hour more than they do. 3/4 of an hour.
In that case, I guess I'd like to go do that now. Jorg, you and Toby want to. Jorg, you and Toby want to some diamonds. Then just keep track of how much it was. Just keep track of how much it was, and we can split it or something.
Sounds good. Figured two diamonds would be good enough for now. Be good enough.
Do you have enough?
Oh yeah.
Don't think I have to do a lot, because the
200 platinum.
price is set in the spell.
It's 300. It's 300. Yep.
So whatever you buy, it's going to be worth 300 gold piece per diamond.
I will haggle them until they give me exactly 300 gold worth per diamond.
Well, now earlier, Fisher was dealing with a researcher. You're going to be dealing with a merchant, a gnomish merchant. How much time are you willing to put into haggling?
Guys, we got someone to potentially rescue. He's asking.
I will give you for a 300 gold diamond. For a 300 gold diamond. Shoelaces. My own squid. And my own squid.
Audience, why don't you everything ready to go? Unless you have something ready to go. Unless you have something to do. Do you have something to do? Why don't you get everything ready to go? Why don't you get everything ready to go at the portal? We'll meet you.
That's right.
At the
you
portal
have a card
when we're ready.
in storage.
Ready.
Alright. I will go get everything. I will go get ready to go. I was
gonna say, since I'm not actually going to buy, since you guys says clothing is optional.
Well, they say that it's optional amongst them. Maybe not in cities.
I was going to ask audience if you wanted to go to the portal. But you know.
You can go to the portal. You can go to the portal, but I don't know where we'd be portaling.
We said we'll figure it out when we get there. Let's just gather the stuff and go.
Sam, I want you to know.
What is it? I
want to know
Sam's ears. I want to know Sam's ears. Confidential information.
So, George, you can easily find diamond worth whatever you want. Audience, apparently there's a gnome that just asked for your attention. So you see audience. Tobiyashi, you're waiting for audience to finish talking with the gnome. Remy, you're going to...
Yep.
You know what? Rainey will go with Fisher just because this might clear shit up. I don't know.
Okay. So, Jorg, it's easy for you to find however many diamonds you want to buy. It's a multiple of 300, so
cool.
Depends on how much money you want to put into this.
I will spend it. Yeah. Can I spend 600 and then leave 600 my diamond with him to cut? My diamond with him to cut.
Yeah, he says.
Should I just get like?
No problem.
Should I just get like?
It's gonna take me a little time, maybe 5 or 6 days, and just the amount of work that I'm gonna put in. I'm gonna deduce the work from the Don't worry, I'll give you the right amount when you come back. It's not gonna be 300, of course. It's just.
Thank you. Then
It'll be 4.
Go. Go.
Cool. I will hand over 600. Hand over 600 in gold. Except 10 platinum per gold. Platinum per gold.
30
platinum. 60
for one.
For per yeah. Cool. Oof. That was more money than I've ever spent. It was
18 platinum.
Rocks.
Like 18 platinum.
Just as a reminder, you are going outside with all of that money jingling in your pockets. You can leave some in your rooms or in audiences' dimensional space.
Do they have a stock market?
Oh wait, we could store it in Fisher. Oh wait, we could store it in Fisher, right?
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
Presumably secure banks. I would also think they had.
No, your room are extremely secured.
Oh right. Yeah, then I'll just store it there.
Or you can store it in audience's dimensional space.
Mine's in my dimensional space. Then I always have it on my money. Then I always have it on.
I'll put mine there too. So
yeah, Tobiyashi, I'm not sure if you've ever seen. Have you ever seen audience's dimensional space?
I have.
Okay, good.
I have. I saw the blue bricks in there one time.
Yeah, that's right, the blue brick. It's still there. There's still one left, I believe.
Yeah. Also as audience and Toby was all worried about Toby was all worried about these guys walking down to Toby. By the way, Toby, I saw you walk through that X-ray. You've nothing to want to let you know. Just want to let you know.
Into the what?
That X-ray. Remember when you like that X-ray? Remember when you like that?
Oh, we're having that talk. We're having that talk now. Okay. I guess not. I have more important things I'm thinking about right now. Yeah, I mean, I got to see yours. So, I mean, I got to see yours. So, I mean, it's tit for tat.
Yeah, I'm just saying, close. Yeah. Don't be so worried about yourself. Don't be so worried about yourself. You're fine. You're fine for me.
How would you know?
That's nice to know. I guess that's nice to know. Well, can I store my can I store my in your my dimensional space, whatever it is, where the blue bricks are, where the blue bricks are.
I will open my dimensional space.
There's something oddly awkward about this after this conversation.
I place my sack of
that doesn't help.
In his dimensional space.
That doesn't help.
Right next to his brick. Right next to his brick. Boom. Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Am I with you guys right now? Am I with you guys right now?
You're buying diamonds.
Oh, I thought they went with me. Oh,
no, they went directly.
They're going to get the cart ready. They're going to get the cart ready.
I just really want to know how audience knows. I just really want to know how audience knows what a well-hung hand looks like.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I understand if you've seen a couple things, but if you've seen a couple things, but above average is above average is. And that's
I've lived in a camp with male soldiers.
Oh, okay. I guess that
yeah,
is
shower. Shower.
Yeah, I mean, he is a cultist. Yeah, I mean, he is a cultist. He has a following, so he has a following.
We can move.
Yeah. All right, so Fisher and Remy, you arrive in the knowledge quarter. And easy, just like they said, it's easy enough to find someone who know where Thayag is. Then she arrives within a few minutes. So, is there something you would like to talk about?
Remy here forwarded the message that you've cracked it enough translate a little bit.
I can certainly try.
Yeah, if we could do that. That would be nice. I will bring out Terry. Terry.
So, you open the box. Take Terry out, or you leave him in the box?
I leave him in the box. Yeah.
So you're holding the box, or are you putting it on the table?
I'll put it on the table.
Okay.
I'll put it on the table.
You look at Thayag and Terry, and immediately you have a feeling that Terry recognizes Thayag. And he just stares at her for a while. And you see her place her hands in a motion very similar to what Remy does when he uses minor illusion. And you see her create an entire phrase. All made of stars and different words. And you see Terry just have a little surprised reaction. You see just his head going backward a little bit, and you see him look down, then look up. You see him having the motion of trying to regurgitate acid, and you see Thayag go, no, like this, and she changes the wording. You see all of the stars starting to change, create another word. I know you can do it. Come on. And she resets the image again. You see Terry looking at her for a moment, in her direction. See him look down, look at her again. He keeps looking down for a while, and you get a feeling that he's concentrating on something. And you see a little spark in front of him. You see him look at Thayag like this, and she does the motion again, and the words appear again. You see him look a little bit dismayed by this, and looks in her direction again. Try, and you start seeing these little flash of light concentrating. But depth perception is not there. There's one here, there's one here, there's one here. She turns to the side and does it again. Like this. He looks at her. Concentrate. And then you see it all go from very distant to focused on a single level. He has just used minor illusion to respond in his own language. Very well. You see all of the flashes of light, the stars changing, rearranging themselves. And you see Teag look at you and says, he would like to know what his name is.
Just so I can get this straight, you just taught him how to do minor illusion, right? Minor illusion, right?
I taught him how to concentrate, not how to do it. He could already do it. He just never tried.
Right. Right.
I do get the feeling that he has a little bit of problem with depth perception. Maybe you should try and help him with this in the future.
Sure. How would I go about doing that? How would I go about doing that?
That is the conundrum of every parent. How do you teach something that no one has ever taught you?
Right. Right. Well, I guess you could tell him. I guess you could tell his name is Terry. But if comes up with a better one, or comes up with a better one, he's welcome. Or one he likes more, he's welcome to change it.
You see, you're making the illusion again. You see all of the stars move, appear, disappear, form a long sentence. You see Terry again. The stars aren't exactly well aligned. Like she said, he has difficulty with depth perception. Some of them are really large. Some of them are extremely small. But when you look at it, all right, he seems to think that something that is large or powerful is the same thing. And far away and weak is the same thing. So it takes a few tries, but he responds, and she says, he'll think about it. He feels that it is an important thing, and he should take time to figure out what is the best name. But for now, Terry will do.
That is, yeah. That is, yeah. Good.
She turns to you, Remy, and she says, while it is obvious that he has difficulty with you, she minors illusion the name Terry in his language. I hope this will help you start to smooth things out.
So Remy does look like down a bit sad. He does look like down a bit sad, but he does nod. They both have read the same material. They both have read the same material, but Fisher has not.
I guess could you tell him that you were about to go on another adventure, and if he would rather stay here, he can. Otherwise, does he like the box? And would he rather spend more time outside? Of it?
She translates this into his language. after 1 or 2 minutes, you see Terry flashes a series of constellation and stars, and she looks at you and says, he doesn't know what an adventure is.
Fisher just goes, well, this is clearly Fisher no child of mine. This is clearly no child of mine.
I guess tell him it's. I guess you could tell him it's. We're about to be. I guess this looks like outside though. This looks like outside though. We're gonna be away from this place again. Away from this place again. Dangerous at times. And it might get dangerous at times.
Okay. The second message he had was, there are bigger, small realms. He did meant it as a question.
I guess yes. I guess yes. There are bigger. Are bigger. As big as he wants. Big as he wants.
Raimi just looks.
Does he not understand the concept of a box? Does he not understand the concept of a box? What's going on? That's what's going on.
Remy might know what. If you say this out loud, Remy might be able to help you. He's read more of this log than you have.
Remy just for a moment is just going to repeat. I guess we'll go ahead and say in Fish's voice, realm. We'll go ahead and say in Fish's voice. He points at the box. He points at the box. And he says realm again, and he points to the walls of the room. And he points to the walls of the room. And then he leads you outside for a moment. I points to I get it. The wall of the hallway. I get it. The wall of the hallway and says,
I get
realm.
I get it. Yeah. I mean. I guess tell him. Yes. Tell him. Yes. There are bigger realms. I mean, this is a lot. I mean, this is a lot complicated topic than I was led to believe you were. Learned his language enough to communicate.
Well, I can translate what he's saying, but this is not a comprehend language spell.
Yeah. I obviously don't have the current capacity to teach him stuff like that.
Well, I do believe that every parent say this when their child is born. I'm not a mother, but I have heard many say.
But you were a child once, though, right? Right? Another thing about it is Daedrin. Are they Daedrin also a construct? Are they?
As far as you can tell, she doesn't look like a construct.
Okay. I feel like most parents usually have some experience being the child in that scenario.
Well, I'll start by relaying what you wanted him to answer. And she turns around and creates a few sentences, and she turns to you after he replies and says, He wants to know if there's a difference between adventure and normal life.
Not that he's experienced
Then
so
I
far.
don't think he minds adventuring.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
As for the realm, he does say that his is running out of space to ride on.
Guess I'll get him some more.
And he does have a complaint with frequent tremors.
I mean, I walk how I walk.
Apparently it's more something that happens every few days.
Oh. Yeah, that would. Well, I guess if while we're fighting. Could you explain to him that is probably something that happens while we are fighting, and that means fighting more dangerous that's more dangerous then.
Very well. She turns around, she translates this. Terry responds. He says he'll work on figuring out how to not make it hurt.
Does it usually hurt?
Sometimes. When the tremors are very violent.
You tell him sorry about that. Try and keep him safer.
Yep. Rainy's just going to turn. Rainy's just going to turn and just minor illusion, a cushion.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. That's probably a good idea.
And he wants he wants more room to run.
Well, I guess
also. He said he's lived a long life, but he has since he's not showing any signs of slowing down, he believes that he has at least as many more days in front of him, and he thinks he's going to run out of room before he dies.
Okay. I guess if you could tell him, get him a bigger realm and more space to write yeah. Do you guys have any could I borrow notes on the language that currently have to try and start learning it.
Well, now he knows how to write in the sky, or what he perceives to be the skies anyway. You have the beginning of what you need. I guess we could simply give you a translation of everything that's written in this book on his walls, and you could try and start learning by comparing the two.
Yeah, that would be great. It
would take a little bit of time, well, actually quite a bit of time, but it would be a start.
Time to learn it. Time to learn it. Or time to copy over. Or time to copy.
I mean for you
over.
to manage a single phrase. His language does seem to be quite a bit more difficult than common.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, I figured. But might as well get better reason to get started. Get better reason to get started.
Very well. I'll have a book made, and I believe you are leaving for a bit of travel. I suppose you'll be using a cart?
Yeah.
I'll have to
believe audience.
Yeah. I'll have
getting
to
it ready. Audience is getting it ready. Oh, thanks. If one last thing, could you? If one last thing, tell him that I can't understand. I can't yet understand him yet, but I am trying to learn.
She turns around. She gestures a few combinations of stars. Then she looks at you and says, "He says he noticed."
That's not surprising. That's not surprising. But
he does say that he hopes that his latest attempt at communication will help in many ways, with smells.
I think Raimi. It sounds like Raimi. It sounds like you understood some of the smells. Kind of understood some of the smells.
Puts up the the so-so motion. The so-so motion.
Well, it's a work in progress. And she turns to you, Remy, and says, "I wish you all the luck you can find. You'll need it." Well, either Remy is frozen or...
Yeah. Rough. Rough.
It's just frozen. You said that and he just gets... Well, this feels like a good moment to take a break. We'll give him enough time to unfreeze. Anything else you'd like to ask Theag before we go to break?
No, I think that's it. No, I think that's it.
She closes the lid. Well, actually, she lets you close the lid, but she she wishes you good luck in learning to become a parent.
And he is out of here.
All right. So, like I said, we are going to go on our break. We'll be back in exactly 15 minutes. So, let's see. A little bit of music for you while we are going on break. Let's go with the thunderstorm. It's always fun to have a thunderstorm. There we go. All right. See you back in 15 minutes. Welcome back. We're going to stop the rain and the thunderstorm, especially since I think there is a big thunder strike that's just about to happen. All right. So... Yes, Jorg was leaving the commercial district. Audience and Tobiashi were preparing the cart. Fisher is leaving, and I believe Remy has something to add. And this is where we were.
Just remind me of like the general layout. Just remind me of like the general layout. Like, through the commercial district from the knowledge district to get to the cart. From the knowledge district to get to the cart. I just need to know how to paint this scene.
So the warehouse where the carts are is in the living quarters area. So where you are right now, the knowledge quarter, it's the next quarter, but it's at the very back of it. So if you go from where you are, you go to the commercial quarter, the fastest way to get to the cart is to go through the arboretum. Does that answer your question?
Well, it's more like what direction is Fisher taking to get to his carts? I think is the more probably the better question.
The fastest way to get there from where you are is going directly in the residential quarter and just making your way there.
All right, then maybe just comedically, just like waves Fisher goodbye as he just darts off to parts unknown.
Well, I've got to go pick up a box. Anyway.
You dart after Remy trying to keep pace with him.
Here's the thing, like basically wherever you're specifically going, and maybe even all these shops are kind of like close together, but just kind of like Ramy is just like darting from one building, and then maybe a few minutes later comes out of that building and darts into another building, and then the same thing.
As you, Fisher, are looking for a single shop, just looking around, trying to figure out what shop would make boxes. Probably a magical object shop. So turn around and you go to the object shop and you talk to someone there who is going to take your order exactly as you mention it. All the while you're doing this, every time you look around and you look at the window, you see Remy going in a different direction. Very cartoon style.
I'm just thinking to myself, if I still don't finish this, and get back before he does, it's going to be really embarrassing.
So what exactly do you want this box to have?
Want it to be pretty big. Say at least shoebox size. The other one was pretty small.
The gnome asked you, so actual size, normal size. There are ways to make something bigger inside, just like a bag of holding and things like that.
Then that. If it could be bigger inside, that'd be great. It's for creatures, so he'd need to be able to breathe.
Oh, that's easy enough to do.
All right, then if you could make it bigger on the inside.
How much bigger?
Make it bigger on the inside. How expensive is it to go? How big?
Well, it's more a question of the type of enchantment, It's going to cost you a lot more to have something that's just few rooms big than to have something that is as big as the space inside of a dimensional storage, or even bigger yet, a bag of holding. A haversack is slightly smaller than, and of course there's the space inside of a portable hole. And if you have a whole lot of money, there's always an entire demi-plane that can be placed inside of a small box.
Let's just go with.
Just take into consideration that placing a demi-plane would probably cost you several thousand gold, and just the equivalent of twice the space would probably be maybe a few hundred.
Yeah, then let's just do the space. Yeah, then let's just do the space. But I guess the size of I don't know. What would it be like to get the size of the room? What would it be like to get the size of the room we're in now?
What's the square footage? What's the square footage?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure, but I'd say at probably around between 1 and 5,000. It depends on everything else.
Yeah, he doesn't need something that big. Yeah, he doesn't need something that big. Why don't we do like a? Why don't we do like a 5 by 5 foot cube?
Can he reach that high?
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I don't know.
You can just give him a large space, or you can give him several room, which the entrance is the opening in the box.
Yeah, no, that would be better. Yeah, no, that would be better.
How many rooms do you want?
I think. 4.
He's like 5 by 12 inches.
4 room, roughly the size of the box right now.
Bigger than the box right now.
Okay.
The box right now. If they could be. Maybe like each one being like 2 or 3 times. Each one being like 2 or 3 times. Yeah, 4 times the size of the box right now.
Anything else?
You make it so that if I'm in a fight, rattle around a bunch. Can you make it be able to like produce water and stuff? I don't know how hard that is.
Well, it's gonna add a few hundred, but yes, I think I can make that work.
I look down at Terry's box. Just like Terry's box. You just like better appreciate this. And then yeah. Do that. We'll do that. And then he or it likes to write by engraving things.
Okay.
Can either one of the walls be able to like slats of something, or something, or
yeah, sure.
Make it so the walls are able to be written on.
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool.
Does it have to retain what's on the wall once it changes? Does it have to be stored? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's gonna take, I'd say, about 2 weeks. So I hope you don't need it right now.
Makes sense. No.
Okay.
No. I think for right now, do you just have a little bigger box? Just a little bigger box?
A magical one or just a normal one?
Just a normal box. Just a normal box.
Yeah, sure. Give me a moment. And he goes into the back store of his room, and he comes back and Yeah, here I was delivered a magical object yesterday, and it came into this box. I believe it's a little bigger than yours.
All right, sweet. All right, sweet. How much for this one? How much for this one?
I was gonna go recycle it. Let's say 1 gold.
Okay. I will hand him 1 gold.
Right.
I will hand him 1 gold.
So you have a slightly bigger box now.
And then I will put Terry's box inside the other box. Inside the other box. And then open his box and close the big box. His box and close the big box.
I'm gonna try my best not to reference a Disney movie from the early 2000s.
And then I will head back to the cart. Head back to the cart.
The magic shop, right? Oh, hold on. This was the magic shop, right?
Yeah.
I just need to know.
Yeah, that was the magic shop.
Okay, so Raimi completely out of breath at this point to this magic shop just as Fish is finishing up.
As Fisher's leaving, he just looks at Raimi and goes, and then starts heading to the cart. And then starts heading to the cart.
Into the shop, walks into the shop, empty vial of ink.
Yes, it's a vial. I hope it's nothing vile. Sorry.
Randy opens his beak and still out of breath, but like the sound of a comes out.
So
just waves his hands, magic-y stuff and points at the vial.
You want something magical in it? What exactly? This encompasses a whole lot of things.
Raimi, minor illusions that has ink spilled all over it.
Ink, the right spell. Okay, that's already more precise. Yeah, sure. That's. I can easily give some to you. How much do you want?
Raimi's going to hold up. I guess. With both of his hands, I guess. 5 talons. 5 talons.
For 50 gold worth or 500 gold worth?
So holds up one talon.
50 gold worth.
Talon.
Okay.
And this will be the only weird thing that he asks for. Raimi is going to pull out
okay.
a quill and a piece of paper. And this quill is completely dry.
Okay.
But he is going to try to write on this paper. As though it had ink. And he's going to slightly use minor illusion to make words appear as he's writing it.
Okay. Are you saying you want the ink to be stored in the quill?
Shakes his head and he kind of puts the ink vial off to the side.
Okay, you want the papers?
Shakes his head.
No, not the papers, not the ink.
He points at the quill in his hand. The quill in his hand, and he makes sparkly magic dust around the ink pen.
Well, yeah. I'm not sure that they have ink pen in the Middle Ages.
Raimi trying to maybe make it a bit more clear. Holds up the pen holds up the pen, does like the magically sparkly thing over the pen, and then brings it to the paper, and will repeat the motion that he did before, even though there's no ink on the pen, writing on the piece of paper, but using minor illusion to make words appear.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure what you're asking.
Fisher's gonna duck back in through the doorway. He wants a pen that doesn't run out of ink.
Okay. Normal ink, then. Because if it's magical ink...
Raimi puts up an illusion of a box, and he's going to put his hand through it.
An illusion of a box, and you put your hand through it.
Similarly, trying to figure out the other way he might try to describe this.
Are you asking me?
Oh, got it.
If you can have a feather that will use the ink inside of this small well without having to dip it inside the ink well. Because that would be cool.
Raimi just kind of like looks and like thinks and tries writing with the pen one more time. Except the ink on the page glows.
You want magical ink.
And then he changes the color every time that he does it. So he changes the ink on the page. The ink on the page to be green. The ink on the page to be green. The ink on the page to be blue. And then once again makes sparkly magically.
So you want to be able to draw things in color with a single quill. Is that it?
But then he will since the vial is still empty. Since the vial is still empty, they'll just put it upside down. Noting that there's nothing inside of it. Noting that there's nothing inside of it.
Does the inkwell has to do something with the quill?
Shakes his head.
Okay, so in the inkwell, you just want to ink to write spells. And in your quill, you want a quill that you can draw in different colors with.
Yeah, and just makes the sparkle effect happen again. The sparkle effect happen again.
The thing that I'm not sure is the sparkle for the quill, meaning that the quill is magically able to change color, or do you want something to happen with what you draw that's magical?
He will hold up both the 1 and a 2. Well,
it's going to take a while, and it's going to cost you. Drawing things that comes to life? I mean...
Maybe nods.
Okay, well, if you're willing to wait, yeah, sure. That's definitely possible. You're gonna have to ask someone to make it. So, outside of the game, I know what you're referring to. I just don't remember the name of it. I know that it has a name in the Dungeon Master book. It's the ink that when you draw with it, it can generate something.
Oh no, it's like actually this particular item is kind of new. This particular item is kind of new. In fact, it literally just it's honestly like I was bummed by the fact that honestly like I was bummed by the fact until like I didn't exist until like a few weeks ago. It's like, but it's like, oh shit, this is perfect. But it's like, oh shit, this is perfect. It's called the Emerald Pen. It's called the Emerald Pen.
Okay.
But basically, it does exactly what I was kind of hoping that exactly what I was kind of hoping that Quill for whatever reason like this before then didn't exist like this before then, which seemed weird.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
But they had like the in case like the flow wasn't understood. He basically wants a pen. He basically wants a pen that can
you draw something and it comes to life.
Well, not comes to life, but basically, it's a pen that requires no ink to write with. That requires no ink to write with. Like this is kind of extra, this particular pen, like this is kind of theoretically cast, but it can also theoretically cast that illusory script with that with no material component.
Okay, so it's called an emerald pen. I'll look at it. I'll look at everything that it has.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
Like I said, I was fully willing. I was fully willing to have create something on yourself. You to have create something you don't want to make it.
Oh no,
you don't want to make it. The item now.
What I mean is, I look at what you want it to look like, and then I'll think about what I want it to look like in my world. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I'm basically just like that technically you can make your own. But technically you can make your own. That's just like the basic function that Raimi wanted. The basic function that Raimi wanted.
Okay.
Oh, like as described to the best of his ability. His ability.
Yeah, no, sure.
So it's fun playing charades.
Well, that's what it is to be a Kenku. So yeah, no, okay. Good. All right. So, take into consideration the object and what you describe, how they can be matched together. If it's really different, I'll probably make something different. And then, of course, it's made by gnomes, so there's always a chance that it's going to have a weird effect.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
That's like Raimi gets his ink filled. Raimi gets his ink filled. And finally has managed to catch his breath. Turns to Fisher. He is without a coat, but he now follows Fisher to the cart.
Oh yeah, your coat, pearl coat, the clothes shop. Okay. Your coat will be ready next time you're in the garden. And it's possibly gonna have the feature that you asked. It's not gonna cost a lot.
Yeah.
It's basically enchanting a cantrip inside of something, so it's not gonna cost a lot.
Basically. Raimi looks a little more naked than normal. Raimi looks a little more naked than normal, and still maybe a little out of breath. He needed to do in the garden. And he's still tired as fuck.
So I guess we're all going naked. Let's go.
Oh no, like he still has the glamored armor that looks like the glamored armor that looks like audience used to wear, but now audience used to wear, but now it's just coatless.
All right then. Since everyone finished with their stuff, buying things. No one has anything.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Then in that case. You all meet back where Audience and Tobiyashi are bored out of their mind as Fisher and Remy arrive in last because you had to make an additional detour and then go back to them. They've been waiting there for nearly an hour and a half, probably closer to 2 hours. Jorg arrived at midpoint somewhere in there, but right now Audience is just sitting comatose somewhere with drool just going down, bored nearly to death.
So, audience, you hear about that new group called the Black Eyed Sorry.
I hear they're really gonna make a big. I hear they're really gonna
It's
make
a group of Bard, you know. They
They're on their reunion
group
tour
of Bard. They've been traveling a lot, and so stuff happened. And
yeah.
so.
Well, there you guys are. Finally made it.
The book has already been delivered to the cart. Somewhere along the 2-hour wait, audience to Tobiyashi, a book was delivered to you. Apparently it was a request from Fisher. So, you know he's still alive.
That's good.
We ready to go?
Let's
we
get
ready
out
to go?
of here.
We've been ready. We've been ready.
Some people are out there trying to get rescued. Some people are out there trying to get rescued. But, gotta go shopping. But, gotta go shopping.
Maybe it's going to sit.
Maybe you'll understand better. Maybe you'll understand better when you have kids.
I look over the audience. I'm like, he has kids. Can he have kids?
He has a word.
Only one way to find out.
He has a word.
Only one way to find out.
Wait a minute, George.
All make up travel time. All make up travel time tonight.
Raimi is going to walk up to audience. Hold open his hand. Put a diamond worth 50 gold into it, and then close it around his hand.
Oh, thank you. That's very sweet. Thank you. You see, Remy at least is. You see, Remy at least appreciates. He brings those who would gifts. You guys brings those who would gifts. Annoying. You guys are just annoying.
What?
I'm sorry to be roadblock in your most honorable adventures.
Trying to put you on some
adventures. Whatever, let's go.
All right.
We're off on a grand adventure.
Yeah.
So you all get in the cart. The cart that has is slightly bigger once you're sitting in it, I believe. It looks like a normal cart. It has a single horse. You already know the routine that you are going to be following, as Fisher will go on standby during the day. And when night starts to fall, the shift changes. So Fisher is active during the night and keeps on moving the horse throughout the night, which means you're going to be there in roughly a day and maybe a quarter.
I'll also cut the bedroll that I almost never use. Fit it into the bottom of Terry's now larger box, and then put it on
box within a box. Within a box.
So I'm wondering. So you put a box inside a box. How does it work? You open the inside of the other box. Is the box placed inside the box so Terry can move out of his box and move into the bigger box?
Yes.
Okay, so basically,
I was picturing the bigger box. I was picturing the bigger box as like the size of a shoe box. The first box was like like
a ring box. Like a
I don't know.
The box that I originally handed Fisher, and I'm assuming this is still the same box. This is still the same box.
I believe so. How big was that? I believe so. How big was that box?
Because that box was designed to contain among other things, it had like that. Among other things, it had like that unshaped cloth, as well as a piece of paper. I can't remember if the dagger was originally in there or not.
No, the dagger was outside, I believe.
So it might have been outside. The dagger was outside. The dagger was outside in the huge stone chest. that could have killed Rainy. Stone chest that could have killed Rainy.
It did try. Yeah. So no, yeah, it's probably the first box was probably something like 10 inches long, not more. Terry himself is nearly 2 inches long now, so standing up or in an S form, he's probably an inch high now. So it was pretty small. All right. So probably what you did is place his box on the side so that the top is open and he can just crawl out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Whatever makes sense.
It's the only way I can picture the box being inside the box and Terry being able to move in and out if you opened it. Because if you opened it up and placed it inside and the opening is topside, it's going to be hard for Terry to get out of the box. But then again, you have 9 of wisdom, I believe. So it's possible.
There's the 16 intelligence in there. The 16 intelligence in there. It's a careful balance. It's a careful balance. That's not balanced.
We're gonna go with you had a good enough investigation to figure out that it had to be on its side.
Yeah.
All right. So, all is placed. Terry is secured inside of his new box, and you all leave the garden. Tobiashi, this is the first time that you leave the garden like this. For you, it felt like, oh, it's gonna be something special, but it's literally just like going out a door. You see, well, who's helming the cart during the day?
I thought we were teleporting out of here. Teleporting out of here.
We're teleporting, but with a cart.
We're driving the cart through a portal. We're driving the cart through a portal.
Okay.
I've been our cart driver. So I guess.
All right.
I can helm the cart this time. If you've been doing it though, if you've been doing it, you do it.
I'm getting a lot of
Oh wow.
Apparently, I'm an experienced cart driver.
Sounds proficiency in animal handling and land vehicles.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think you have land vehicles. I'm not sure.
I think that's part of folk here.
All right, so take the cart out. You see audience just directing the cart through the portal, and you just go through the portal, and suddenly you're outside. No whooshing sound, no feeling like your guts have been extracted and pulled into this world. It's just like stepping through a portal in the game Portal. It's just... Oh, that's slightly disappointing. But impressive.
We just split gated.
The transition is smooth, and you just start rolling forward. So, you are right now... Yeah, sorry. You just start rolling forward. And as soon as you leave the garden, you suddenly remember, oh yeah, that's right. We're not in the mountains anymore. So it's pretty windy.
Big surprise.
By the way, if I didn't mention, I had called my cat in the 2 hours waiting. So my cat did come with us.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Come with us. Because he was just hanging out. And I called him during the time that everyone else was shopping.
So in that case, as we're about to leave, your cat probably, just before you enter the portal, say, are we leaving the tree here?
We We should bring the tree. We should bring the tree. Where's the tree?
You're so good at this stuff, guys. You're so good at this stuff, guys.
Wait, time out. You guys went through the arboretum and didn't think to grab Olnek.
I had too much on my mind, man.
Magda,
I had too much on my mind, man.
Magda, tell the tree. Magda, you're fast. Go tell the tree. Come join us.
All right, maybe.
The tree is also not fast, so have your cat bring the tree.
Have the tree ride. Have the tree.
I mean, he had 2 hours to get there.
You didn't know he had to get there.
Sam, no, it wasn't. Sam,
all right,
no,
so
it wasn't.
the cat runs, and you have to wait maybe 20 minutes, and the cat eventually comes back, and Magna just spits out an acorn, and he said it would be faster.
You know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, Brad.
Ramey's just taking the acorn. Ramey's just taking the acorn. Annoyed by the whole experience, and then annoyed by the whole experience. Also, like Ramey looks really cranky. Also, like Ramey looks really cranky and tired as he just onto the bottom of the cart. First onto the bottom of the cart.
And then audience takes. And then audience.
All right.
Or actually, I guess. I mean, should we take the time to summon him? I mean, should we take the time to summon him? Because we'll forget later.
Well, you can do that as soon as you leave. Right now, you're in a storm.
Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. We'll get to the There's dirt now. The other side. There's dirt there.
All right, so you leave, and once you're outside, and the wind picks up, and there's ground, there's dirt, grass, and everything you need there to summon him. So it only takes a minute. He comes out, and I remember that wind. It's always fun. He stretches his hand, just lets the wind catch it in his leaves. So where are we going?
A town.
Well, that's descriptive. All right, let's go.
Ramey just continues. Once again, just walks over to the cart and just plants himself face first onto its floor.
There may be a lot of ice. There may be a lot of ice over there, so we won't be able to plant you over there.
Okay. I mean, I've gone through several winters. Should be interesting.
Can you be planted in ice? Well,
you have to get to the ground, and it has to be thawed out.
So no. Okay, I'm gonna go with we still can't plant. Okay, I'm gonna go with we still can't plant. Nice.
I'm sure we'll figure something out. All
right. Yeah. All right. On our way. On the
road again.
I tried singing that while I was doing my pilgrimage, and the first person that heard me said, No, I will hit you if you sing that.
Sing a song, yes, the travel song, yes, the travel song, when you find something to do.
All right. Pretty quiet entire day. Move forward. The day looks pleasant, if not extremely windy, but later on during the day there is a little bit of rain that starts creeping in, and you remember that you had a tarp placed inside of it, so you can just pull it over, and it's not spacious, but it's dry.
As we're traveling, I'm taking the time to patch my holes with my silk. And, that's pretty much it.
It might be easier to make an undershirt with your silk.
Basically, that's basically what I'm doing.
All right, well, take into consideration that you have one section of silk that is used.
Okay. So one 10-foot section. Yes, that's correct.
All right. Because
I'll keep the second 10-foot section for my weapon. 10-foot section for my weapon. And yeah,
because it's only very much later on that you'll be able to keep silk out, even if it's detached from you or something like that.
Yeah.
Right now, you still have to pay the cost.
Yep.
All right. So, like I said, the first half of the day, it's a nice day. Birds are singing. Well, actually, probably getting a little bit chillier because you are in the what for us is fall. They consider season to start at a different moment than we do in the Shattered Continent. So for us, it would be very similar to the very beginning of fall. Leaves are slowly starting to change, although from where you are in the world, I don't think... Yeah, no, you can see the forest, the elven forest, to the right. So if you look to the right, you'll see the trees are starting to change color. To the left, you have a lake. But after the first day of travel, you leave where you can see the forest. And now it's basically just mountains that you see on your right. And like I said, during the second half of that day, the rain starts falling. Not a heavy rain, but just an annoying rain. Then, as you're arriving,
and that's when the tornado comes.
Oh, that's cute.
A very cute tornado.
Actually, that's
has a bow.
Interestingly placed.
Has a bow.
No, I rolled on my encounter table, and it's 97%. 97% is something interesting that's not going to try and kill you.
So a silver dragon comes flying down from the sky.
That would be convenient. But no, actually...
Audience is in. Audience is in.
He's like, dude, sweet. I was going to go look for them, but sweet. I was going to go look for them, but...
It's like, say less.
As the day unfolds, audience, this is the equivalent of a single day. So yeah, it is the second half of the day. You arrive at a place where the road crosses. Literally makes a cross. You know that you only have to keep going, and you're going to end up in Septane sometime during the beginning of the next day.
And this is where your savior saves you from all of your sins.
I mean, I would. All right. I mean, I would see something else, or just a cross. Do I see something else?
No, you only see a crossroad. But are you taking special care? Or are you just crossroad?
I mean, I would be like, I'd probably be like crossroads.
We had something about. I'm
You're in
sleeping,
standby mode.
But
you're basically taking your sentinel rest. You can hear.
Audience doesn't have a good memory. Audience doesn't have a good memory.
Do you want a reminder, Sam? Or are we? You want a reminder just going? Or are we just going?
I'll take a reminder if there's something. I'll take a reminder if there's
the
something.
Dragonborn.
Dragon something.
Yeah, Kobold, whatever. Sorcerer person. Kobold that we met. Sorcerer person in one of the towns that blew up a bunch of towns. That blew up a bunch of orcs.
Oh no, the other guy. Okay. The other guy. Okay.
Yeah, his name is the other guy. Yeah, his name is the other guy.
What do you say? Do I have these notes? Do I have this notes?
Okay.
Do you have this stuff? Do you have this stuff?
Just roll to remember. Just roll to remember.
That never goes well for me. No, that never goes well for me. Allies, where is this? Allies, where is this?
The next time you're traveling alone, if you reach traveling alone, if you see something, listen down. If you see something, listen.
Do you say this to me, Fisher? Do you say this to me, Fisher? Like, hey,
technically I'm in sentry mode, so I can't just wake up and say this. So I can't just wake up and say this because I noticed things passing by.
I mean, if you remembered, you should say it. You were there for that conversation too. I know you weren't there for that conversation. Or were you?
I believe I was.
Yeah. Were you?
I hadn't left. Yeah, I hadn't left a couple days before.
So the name you're looking for is Restaurant.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have the name.
Yeah.
No, I have the name. I just didn't have that.
No, I couldn't necessarily say anything because Raimi was busy looting a pile of dead corpses. A pile of dead corpses. So he was literally
wake up.
He was literally
wake up. What was Jorg doing?
Fisher will notice that we are about to move. Notice that we are about to move past a crossroads. Speak up and speak up. Audience, hold up.
Yes.
Audience, you hold up. Did you look down? Did you look down?
Oh, and then audience remembers. I have not looked down. Audience will look down. Audience will look down.
Make a perception roll.
Actually, audience. Get on his hat.
That's just walking next to him, and you just jump off the cart and on his cat and starts looking down from his cat.
We're done. We're done. Okay, that's fine. Perception plus 5. Okay. That's a 19 plus 5. That's a 19 plus 5. So that's a 24.
God to the cat.
I mean, even audience have got a 19.
Yeah.
Would have been terrible.
So, with the help of your cat, you look down and you see something shining on the ground. Looks like a coin that was abandoned there. It's slightly bigger than a normal coin, however. Looks like a gold coin.
Interesting. Audience will then listen. That was the next part of it.
As you look down, instinctively, you don't know why, but when you stop, the Jorg, Tobiyashi, Remy, and Fisher, you all do the same thing. You sort of look at where audience is looking, and when audience raises his head and starts listening, audience, the first thing you hear is, now where is that village? And you didn't see this before. You don't know why. But right there in the middle of this crossroad, staring at the road signs, you see a humanoid, roughly the size of a halfling, maybe size of one of the Sharoons. Got long hair, and he's holding a map in his hand. And he just keeps staring at us and where is that? Why is it not? Why do they keep giving me those maps?
I was in a spot.
Hello, sir? Hello, sir? Can I help you?
Hello? Probably. Can you tell me where this is? And he unfolds his map and shows it to you.
Oh, mass. Enormous misogynist.
You're not sure it's from your world.
Not a lie. Why would I lie? Why would I lie?
I guess I'd be like, is this a math? I'd be like, is this a math chain?
I don't know. I've actually been trying to get to this village.
I swear.
You can't even start pronouncing the name of that village. It's not in any language you know. They keep giving me these maps. It's exasperating.
Who are they? Who are they?
Whenever I try and leave, it's always ask for a map. I'm pretty sure you haven't met them. It's we're all from the Spires. This is why everyone eventually called us Spirians, but
I'm looking at anyone else in the group. I'm looking at anyone else in the group.
I've heard this party. No, none of you have ever heard about that. However, you do, Remy, because what are your passive perception, everyone? Audience, I have your sheet here, so you don't need to tell me. But
I don't. I assumed it wasn't me.
15 with Terranad. 15 with Terranad.
Has a 17.
17. 17.
And Remy, 19. Alright, so Jorg, Tobiyashi, and Remy. As this small halfling-sized creature is talking, you do notice that there is a faded black contour around his eyes. It doesn't feel like it's been removed. It feels like watching something that would be a distant cousin from something that would have a full mask around his eyes. Natural color. Black.
God damn it. It's a fucking nunchuck. Sorry. Damn it. Fucking nunchuck. Sorry.
Raimi is going to squint his eyes a bit and squint his eyes a bit, looking at the halfling, just kind of like looking at the halfling, just kind of like the eye thing, doing like the eye thing. You got a little, you got a little.
Yes, well, it's part of our race. Well, actually, it's it used to be complete. A lot of people called us raccoon people at one point, but it's been several thousand years since anyone has called us that.
Do you perhaps worship a raccoon god? Or is that completely separate? Or is that completely separate?
Yes.
Audience, you don't know why. You have an answer that you want to hear, and you even hear it in your mind. Well, my species has gods, just like everyone else, but I don't personally worship a god.
Okay. Just wondering. Also, did you drop a coin? Did you drop a coin? Because there's a coin on the ground. I'll point to the coin. Is that yours?
He stands up. He just straightens himself. You see the coin. Oh, that changes everything. He turns around and he takes a little, what looks like a bedroll, and opens it, unfolds it on the ground, pulls it up slightly. It looks like a small tent. You're not gonna fit in there. And you see the tent just go, add a full 2 feet to its size. Yeah, you're gonna fit better in here like this. Come in. And he walks inside the tent. The tent looks like a normal tent.
Alright.
But
I'm joining. Give me a second. I'm joining. Give me a second.
Raimi is going to cautiously the fourth installment of a book series he read and go inside of this tent and go inside of this tent.
Wait. Don't we have somewhere we need to be? Wait. Don't we have somewhere we need to be?
This is. Sometimes this is you do things, Toby. Sometimes one of those times you do things, Toby. This is one of those times that you do. When a person suddenly says that changes everything. When a person suddenly says that changes everything, and makes a magical mystical coin, and then makes a magical kind of things alone. You don't leave.
How do we know that he's not trying to kill us? How do we know that he's not trying to kill us?
That's what makes it exciting.
We're adventurers, Toby. We're adventurers, Toby. But also everything's trying to help us. But also everything's trying to help us. Adventuring is life. Adventuring is also adventuring is life. You have to adventuring is also death. You have to find a way.
All right, as long as you guys enter first. All right, as long as you guys enter first. I'm
All
fine
it was
with it.
missing at the end of this is obey your thirst, and you see 7-Up.
Audience is gonna pick up the coin on the ground and follow the guy on the ground and follow the guy inside.
You enter, and who else enters?
I said Remy already went in.
All right, so Remy's the first one to enter. Audience next.
No.
George,
Jorg will
Tobiashi,
follow.
Fisher, do you enter?
Jorg will follow.
Yep.
Yeah.
After everyone else enters. After everyone else enters. I'll look inside the tent first. I'll look inside the tent first and see if I can see anything.
Well, one thing that feels a bit odd is that 5 persons are now inside this tent that looks big enough for 2 people. But as soon as you open it, you sort of have this reflex of opening it, looking in, closing, looking at the tent from the side, opening it again, walking in. It is as large as a warehouse in there. And I am not kidding when I'm saying a warehouse. Imagine the first Indiana Jones warehouse. That large. There's enough place in here to fit a castle.
Well, it's time to sell our soul to Amazon.
You see rows and rows of stuff.
Ooh.
Well,
I like stuff. Stuff.
Well, stuff is the best way to describe it. There's one thing you don't see anywhere. It's weapons. But you see everything else.
Audience is sad.
Magical objects. Small magical objects. Well, I am a provider of special everyday object. You can find anything you like. Prices are always reasonable on a galactic scale, I mean. But they're always reasonable.
The galactic scale, what is that? The galactic scale, what is that?
I'm not the imposter.
Did we just enter another shopping mart?
Yeah, dude, guys, we got juked. We got juked. We thought we were done.
But actually, this one is everything you can see. First of all, audience, there's one thing that you do notice immediately as you enter. There seems to be a row filled with the different representation of gods. You see the emblems of thousands upon thousands of gods. It just goes on. You don't see where it ends.
Audience is gonna be like, do you collect emblems for gods? Do you collect emblems for gods?
I actually have every emblem that belongs to a god that has enough of a following to be considered a god.
Audience, giving him a look. Audience, giving him a look. Do you have this emblem? Do you have this emblem? Extra emblems of the dragon. Extra emblems of the dragon.
I don't recall ever finding one of those. Maybe you don't have enough followers.
Well, I think you should have one anyway. Slide it down. Slide it down. Put it up there. Put it up there.
Okay, well, in that case, that's very thank you very much. I will make my research to know which god it belongs to. Don't worry, as long as it's a god, it's gonna be there.
Alright, I'll hand him one of the handbooks. One of the handbooks.
Oh, right. Thank you very much. Please, look everywhere you want. He looks at you, Remy. He says, it's going to detect if you take something and don't pay it. You won't find I'm a pacifist at heart. I don't sell weapons, armor, or anything of the sort. But you can have anything which will help your everyday life. Including, and he goes to, takes the first thing, and Remy, you recognize it immediately as it is nearly a double of your decanter of endless water. And including objects like these. Very useful if you want to travel, always have war. He takes another small box. This one is very interesting. If you have a bit of a sweet tooth and you like to impress people, and he opens the box, all you have to do, and he takes a copper, place a coin inside, close it, open it, and voila! There is a small chocolate truffle inside. The more valuable the coin, the better it's going to taste. Here, have it.
Does it play well with the ladies? Does it play well with the ladies?
Depends if they like chocolate, yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting.
We have this, and he takes what looks like a frying pan. This is a very interesting object. It always cooks exactly how it needs to be cooked. I'll give you an example. And he reaches inside of his pocket, takes an egg, cracks it, pour it inside, and look, it cooks, and you'll notice there's no fire on it. And there, it's done. Well, unless I like my eggs sunny side up. What about you?
I like them. I like them
scrambled. Then we need to cook this a little bit more. All right. Well, just touch the frying pan. Go on. Don't be shy.
Okay. I'll touch it. I'll say scrambled. I'll touch it. I'll say
immediately
scrambled.
The egg starts cooking even more. He reaches inside a pocket and starts stirring it, and voila, scrambled eggs. And look, and he touches the inside of the frying pan. It doesn't burn.
No. Does it have the natural seasoning on the eggs? Does it have the natural seasoning on the eggs, or is that separate? Like, can I say more pepper? More salt?
No, it just
more
cooks.
Pepper?
You
more
have
salt?
to buy the seasoning somewhere else. But I believe I have the shaker of seasoning, I think. Yeah.
By the way, guys, I've abandoned you to become a chef.
So,
just let you know now.
Just as a description, and so that I don't have to describe an entire warehouse, he sells small things which aren't really good for battle, but for everything else. You'll find things to generate food, to create small effects. You can find powders that just go poof, and that's it. You can find a cape that just seems to billow always, forever. You can find a small mirror that always shows you at your best. That's all it does. When you look in the mirror, you're always at your best. But this is what's inside, and it's, like I said, a warehouse full of it. Name it, there's a good chance he has it.
Okay. You have anything that'll change the appearance of my clothes?
Several things.
Just better clothes. But just
we also have that.
That too, but no, like that too, like, but no, like whatever I want it to be, where I could change it to whatever I want it to be, right?
Well, it depends. As long as you don't want it to be an armor, it's fine. It's gonna work.
Yeah, just like I don't know. Like, yeah, I want like say I royal clothes, and then instantly change into peasant clothes, and then instantly change into peasant clothes, or like something like that. Have a cloak on, or something like that.
Well, yeah, yes, of course I have something like this. Just so that you know, it's not free.
Obviously.
Yeah, okay, good.
You said it obviously costs money. Yeah, you said everything costs money.
Yeah, it can easily be arranged. There's many ways. The clothes can do that. I can sell you something that changes your clothes, I remember there's a needle somewhere that all you have to do is just sew a single thread inside of a already existing pieces of clothing, and it's gonna fit your wishes as clothing. I'll need a little bit of time to find a needle. It's been a while since I saw it.
A needle in a haystack. Okay, a needle in a haystack. Okay, if you could find it. Yeah, by the time we leave, I'll take a look at it. How much would it be? I'll take a look at it. How much would it be?
Like I said, it's been a while. And your dungeon master says, I want to finish the game before it's 2 in the morning. So
yeah.
So basically what I'm going to say is, if there's anything you'd like, as long as it's not a weapon, something that casts a spell that can harm someone, any small object. You even see eggs, which are, he gladly explains to you, are going to hatch into small creatures. You can even find pets, odd pets, weird pets, magical pets.
See you, Terry. Too complicated. See you, Terry. Too complicated.
God damn it.
Yo, maybe you can find a box here.
You're not about to sell your child. Parent.
So wait, do we just make
I'm just saying he could.
So wait, do we just make
I'm just saying he could have a 2-inch worm.
Or so wait, can we write orders down? So wait, can we write?
Actually, it's more of you tell me, and between games, I'm gonna probably have to build the object, so I'll tell you if you want.
All right. So the needle, and then I need 3 smoke bombs that change colors. And then change colors. Boom. And then we're ready. Boom.
Don't you also want a bag? Oh no. Did you want a small bag of holding? Did you want a small bag of holding? Bring it back to your device, so you could bring it back to that known person. Your room better, and they would your elemental room better for your elemental.
I guess I could, but he's already making it while we're talking. He's already making it while we're talking. Yes.
I thought you could do more with it.
Yes.
I thought you could do more with it if you brought.
No, I think he already had the small bag of holding. And then he was gonna make it into it.
Alright, so Tobiyashi wants colored smoke bombs.
Yeah.
And the needle.
Audin wants a lot. Audin wants a lot. All my money's about to be gone. All my money's about to be
So I gave you a few examples of the things that you can easily find that I'll give you at very low cost. Things that don't present that big of an advantage, but can be used every day.
All right. I'll probably send you a message.
Absolutely. Like I said, we're finishing the episode here as you enter here. You can easily imagine that while this is going on, between this episode and the next, the party is going to let loose and explore a bit this warehouse. Try to find things that they actually want to.
Another shopping arc. Let's go. Another shopping arc. Let's go.
But since this place is so big and I can just start coming up with stupid object endlessly, we're just gonna say, viewers, they shop. And next episode, it's gonna start when they pay.
Sounds good.
All of my 200.
Sounds good.
All of my 204 platinum.
Jesus. All right, I want a bag.
You better not touch any of those gems that you've paid.
I need a bag of holding that my bag of holding can fit into.
Oh God, don't do that.
Without causing a time rip.
Okay, try to remember small object. Things that don't give a huge tactical advantage in some situation. Try to think about something. Use the stuff that's funny to use. Try to think about that.
The Black Eyed Peas.
There's a record called Black Eyed Peas in one of the rows.
This guy did say galactic. So I assume a lot of realms has stuff from a lot of realms.
All right.
You don't know.
All right.
I'm a misogynist, I forgot. I'm a misogynist, I forgot.
Alright.
So, I leave you to this thinking of useless stuff that you want to have. Jorg, druids are more inclined toward useful stuff than useless stuff, but think that are small, like a small gem that cools you down during the day if it's too hot, or very small things that are not necessarily a whole lot, but convenient, and someone imaginative can use them in some situation. That'll give you an advantage. So even for druids, they're interesting things.
I think I can
jar of peanut butter. Jar of peanut butter.
Yeah, for the dog.
That never ends.
Yeah, for the dog.
That never ends.
At one point, Jorg, you find an object that the shopkeeper tells you, and you sort of feel like you shouldn't tell audience this object exists. It's a small sprig of mistletoe. If you hang it on a door, whenever two person that could feel an attraction toward one another passes under, they kiss as a reflex.
Ooh.
You sort of see this little thing and you think about audience and think about how Ami might react to this.
Dork, are you my friend? That's all. Dork, are you my friend? That's all I'm saying.
Yes, and because he is, he won't give. And because he is, he won't give.
There's a small voice inside your head, Jorg, saying, "It would be cool giving this to audience." And the other voice says, "You really want to see him die?" So, you have an idea of useless object that you can purchase in this place. If there's anything you want, just tell me during between the two episodes. Try not telling me next, I don't know, Wednesday, 5 minutes before the show starts. I won't have time to build it. During the weekend at most. At least give me a few days to build it. But we're going to end the episode on this tonight. So, happy hunting, happy imagination. And we hope you enjoyed the show. We hope you're going to be there next week. As we learn what the party decided to buy and that they finished their road to the first town, town on their way. And as always, if you enjoyed the show, you can support us by following us on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. I'm losing my voice. Sorry. You can also support the stream by making a donation, becoming a Patreon, subscribing, and of course, if you can't do any of those, simply spreading the word will help us a lot. So, thank you for watching. As always, stay safe and stay healthy. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.